Have you seen the leaked photos or leaked artwork of Namor?
Let me look right now.
I don't know if they're real. They look real, but it's like artwork. It's not really photos. It's artwork.
Oh wait, there we go. Hey.
The more I think about it, the more I think it's like perfect.
Who's playing Namor?
I don't know. That's the thing. Like, they seem to have secretly cast this Latino guy. Apparently, he's on the cast list for Wakanda Forever, and I don't think anybody realized that they cast him as Namor. The reason why I think it's a good pick is, one, it looks so different from anything Aquaman's doing, and two, you know, the Marvel has a big hole with like Latinos. Like, there are like virtually no Latinos in the Marvel universe. It's like they're
America Chavez, man. What you talking about?
That's it. That's really it. It's America Chavez and what's his name from Ant-Man, and that's it. Like, it's like a really big obvious hole.
I heard that was his fish man. He was like an Aztec, right?
That's
and then,
that's exactly right.
He's like this warrior.
Yeah. The only thing that makes it bad, it is because no one listened to your boy. I tried to help people out. I said, we need to recast T'Challa. So the fact that you're going to have Namor and no T'Challa, that's like having the Fantastic Four, but no Human Torch. You know, like, that's just like not, that just feels
hey man, my boss
wrong.
agrees with you. Me and my boss was having a candid talk about Marvel and DC. But he's like, I love Chadwick, but they need to recast Black Panther because he brought up the whole Superman situation.
Got to. I would have loved to see Black Panther versus
like
Namor.
his Lex Luthor, right?
No, kind of. You know, Namor, the Submariner, is a good guy.
Yeah,
but they, you know, they are kind of rivals. You know, Namor's an ass. He's such a dick. You know, he's like the biggest dick in the Marvel universe. And you know, obviously Black Panther is like so nice and regal and all that stuff. And yeah, they butt heads all the time. And so I would have loved to see a Latino Namor with Black Panther, that whole Aztec vibe with kind of the African thing. That sounds like a good time, dude. And you know, Namor is Marvel's first character. It's the first character Marvel's ever invented.
Isn't it crazy that comic books go back that far?
Yeah, this was like, you know, it's kind of surprising a lot of comics don't go back further. Actually, a lot of popular comics don't go back further. I know that some comics like The Phantom.
I love The Phantom, man.
What was the other one? There's another movie around the same time. Sam Raimi loves the character. The
Rocketeer?
Guy. No, something around that time though. And he inspired Batman. He's got like a neckerchief over his face and like a brill, like a hat.
Oh man, I know what you're talking about.
It's killing me. Shoot. The Shadow.
Shadow, yes.
Yeah, the Shadow. Yeah, I know. And the Phantom and the Shadow, they were like kind of serialized things though. They predate Batman, and you know.
And people be acting like we don't know who we talking about.
Okay, so first off, I just want to say, I get it.
You get what?
High school.
Kamala. Another adventure shirt. Cute.
I'm loving the show. And it feels strangely like wholesome. I don't know why. I don't know how it feels like.
It feels wholesome because you're getting so much culture.
Yeah,
within this show.
I feel good after watching it. And then I went and read up on Partition, and I'm like, whoa, none of this stuff gets taught in most American classes.
No. So
it's completely fascinating. So I think that's a lot of fun. That's fun stuff. But you don't need to read up on Partition in order to understand the show, right? Right? Like we're talking about Elvis. I don't have to listen to all his music and understand the show, the movie.
Understand the movie.
Yeah. So, but it does help, right? It does add another level to it. So I'm really digging it, and I think the actress they got for Kamala Khan, I think she's fantastic. I think Miss Marvel is one of Marvel's best TV shows so far. It can still fall off a cliff, but right now I'm digging it.
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Like I said in the beginning, I didn't think this show was for me. I didn't think this demographic, the show was within my demographic. I thought it was just for high school and stuff like that. It is. Excuse me. Dang, I know you zoomed in last time on that.
Yeah, all your burps.
But yeah, like I didn't think this show was for me and my demographic, but it's because of the diversity of what they're putting in within this show and their culture. It feels even better with the superhero aspect.
I'm really digging it.
I'm digging the heck out of this, and actually, dude, I'll be honest with you. Okay. This might be my favorite Marvel show.
Shut your mouth. Just kidding. Of course, yeah.
It might be my favorite Marvel show, more than WandaVision.
I think
it might be kind of neck and neck with Loki with me.
Okay.
But
I enjoy Loki too. I did enjoy Loki.
But as for Hawkeye, 10 times better than that. I hated Hawkeye.
I thought Hawkeye wasn't so bad. I was okay.
Hawkeye was super trash. Kate Bishop show. Just call it Kate Bishop show.
Yeah, it's funny. In this latest episode, we talked to Kamala's grandmother and how she lives in Karachi. God, please forgive me if I've mispronounced that. But she is like ethnically Indian, right? But she fled India because of partition, and she lives in Pakistan. So she both feels part of Pakistan and like left out of like her native land. And like to me, I don't know. But to me, I'm like, that's a very interesting perspective as a black person where you never quite can feel comfortable in this country. You know what I mean? You never quite can be settled. Like, I feel like I get that. You know what I mean?
Don't get triggered, white folks. You don't understand. Do not get triggered. You guys can get in the comments and say all you want. Oh, here's Devin again, bringing up all this white folk stuff, this black people things. It's the actual truth of what we see every day,
and it's part of the show. This is part of Miss Marvel.
Part of Miss Marvel.
Yeah, so
it is.
I really dug that kind of stuff, and I really felt for the grandmother character, and it made me understand Kamala's role in all this too, because she's trying to find out herself, trying to find her identity, right? She finds out that, maybe she's some sort of a clandestine and trying to figure out what's going on with the Bengal. Like, I think that stuff is fun. That's a really fun adventure. And it felt like in this episode, there's like a little cart chase going through Pakistan that I thought was pretty good. It felt like what Uncharted wished it could be, even though it was like so much smaller, right? Even though the scale is so much smaller, it felt like, oh man, like something like a scene you would see in Uncharted. You know what I mean? So
it does feel like a scene you would see.
A smaller version. You know what I mean?
A smaller version, and it's such a more enjoyable version too.
Yeah, I'm digging it.
Boy, did I not like. Okay, I don't want to bring up this. This having bad flashbacks. Like
Uncharted movie. Yeah.
Uncharted.
Exactly.
Which each episode it leaves you with a question and wanting the next episode immediately, and that's how you know that is the brain work of good writing. That is the recipe of a great show.
Like little Easter eggs in there for you if you're paying attention. her clothes are slowly moving towards her superhero outfit.
Yeah,
you know? But that's just for people who would recognize it. But the show doesn't stop. She's like, she's not like, I'm slowly becoming a super. No, she just slowly, she gets the thing, and then now she got the red robes with the baby blue thing on top, or the navy blue thing on top. Like slowly becoming the character. I think that's fun. That's good stuff.
Yep. And then what's her homie? What's her name? Bruno.
Oh,
Bruno made her the mask, which is cool. I think they should have the Batman makeup right there. The dark out. Okay. So I was like, girl, we still know it shows.
That's you. Yeah, because it's a TV show. It's okay. Just roll with it, Tyrone. Roll with it.
It's such a good show. It's refreshing. Mm-hmm. This is a show that deserves a season 2, but I know that Kamala Khan will be featured within the Marvel's film, which to me, as of seeing what the first Captain Marvel did, and to what this show is doing, and to what Monica Rambeau did in WandaVision, I think the people that I'm going to appreciate in the film.
Yeah, could be.
Far.
Could be setting something interesting up. You're right. I didn't think about that.
Mm-hmm. But as of right now, we are really enjoying this show. Not gonna give a rating on it yet until the show is completely done. I love it.
Yeah, it's a good show. Digging it.
So let's get into this other show that.
What show is this? Yeah, we have differing opinions on this, I think.
We kind of do. With the exception of episode 5 and episode 6, I appreciated those episodes, but the whole show to me and all, it wasn't really doing it for me in that aspect because it's not Obi-Wan's show.
It's Reva's show.
It's Reva's show, and I'm like, you guys painted this whole picture for Reva as an Inquisitor, which is fine. It's okay. And then at the end of the day, she wants to go kill Luke and can't do it. And the words that she came out of her mouth and says that I failed him.
Mm-hmm.
If lady,
I couldn't do it. I failed him.
I was more interested in the did I become him? Because it's like, have I gone that far? You know? And Obi-Wan's like, no, you chose not to. And I thought that was like a little sweet moment. Although her going after Luke felt stupid because I'm like, we know that she can't touch Luke, right? She can't touch Luke, which is the problem with prequels. You know,
that's a whole problem with these prequels and IPs that we know.
Which is prequels in general. It's just there's certain things you can't do. You have to move within such a small confined box. You know.
Yeah. So, you know, he has to be knocked out because he never seen a lightsaber before.
Exactly.
Exactly. You know? So it's just so much continuity that you have to tiptoe around.
Right.
Now,
he's got to tell Leia, it's like, don't tell nobody. It's like, please.
You're gonna trust that to a 10-year-old, my friend? And then when New Hope comes out and there's no recollection of you being like there, and having adventures with her when she's 10, and you saying that she kept that secret for 10 years?
So I think we got different opinions on this, but I acknowledge that I think all your criticisms are spot on. I acknowledge that the show is kind of stupid, but this within Star Wars, this is like the best stuff I think Star Wars has done in a long time. I feel like this is the most interested and invested I've been in Star Wars, in a Star Wars IP in years. So,
even more than The Mandalorian before we got to that Luke Skywalker scene.
Yeah, The Mandalorian kind of fell off. You're right. The Mandalorian kind of fell off a cliff when we started moving towards Luke Skywalker. But the thing that floated The Mandalorian on was that it felt separate from all the other stuff, right?
Felt like a space cowboy.
Exactly, until it started to merge with the Skywalker shit, and I'm like, oh god, you know. But as far as like a Skywalker story, this is the most invested I've been, most interested I've been in years. So I think that's great. I think that the level of continuity errors this show has created is like ungodly and just unwieldy. It's insane. But that's kind of part of watching Star Wars. I think part of watching Star Wars is just forgetting everything that came before. You've got to just focus on what you see, right? Because
so horrible, dude.
It's terrible. But if you start bringing in prequels and bringing in sequels and the show, either the show or the movie won't make sense anymore, right? You just kind of have to forget. You have to like wipe your mind every time you watch anything. You know?
I did on my other channel, York Nation Reactions. I did a reaction to Pitch Meeting, and it was by Obi-Wan Kenobi this whole season. And I basically said what I just said, and give us something new. Always continue to give us something new, because I feel like when you continue to give us stuff like Obi-Wan Kenobi and things that we're used to, we run into a lot of continuity problems, right? A commenter commented on my video is named Paran's Fan Traders. He says, just don't watch it. It's not that hard. That's what he said. That's what he said, right? Mm-hmm. I said, of course that would be, damn.
Yeah, no, popping off, man.
I said, of course that would be easy, the easiest thing to do. I said, but fandom is important to the entertainment industry. I said, everyone has their own opinion on things, and that's okay. But if creators, showrunners, directors, producers, and writers don't hear or see these opinions from fans, there won't be any artistic growth or possible change within the art that they create. For example, Ugly Sonic being changed because to be more accurate to the game because fans spoke up about it. I said, dude, I love watching movies. I love watching TV shows and being a fan of these wonderful IPs. I said, watching them and criticizing them for the bad and the good is dope. But then I said, although, trust me, if crap is crap, i.e. Jurassic World, I won't hesitate to won't watch it ever again. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I just had to just speak that out because it's like, when people think that, you know, we're bashing something that they love or we're talking about something we love, we're just holding these creators accountable to do better and think outside the box.
Also, I think part of enjoying art is criticism, right? Like, that's kind of part of it. Is your interaction. And I imagine if you make art, you want people to interact with it, right? So I think when people put the show or something like that on a pedestal and they say, oh, you can't touch it, you can't criticize it, I don't think that's the correct way to do it. But most people who feel like that, I think are kids, you know what I mean? And you know, I think they feel like you're breaking their toys or something like that, and they hold them so dear to their heart. So I think most of them are kids, so I kind of give it a pass. But when you get like grown adults who can't tolerate hearing any criticism of something they like, you know, I mean, that's just intellectually immature. But I dug Obi-Wan. I kind of liked it, and I liked the last fight between Vader awesome. and Obi-Wan. My thing is, and I thought it was interesting.
That was awesome.
This felt almost like a redo of Episode 3.
It did.
Like, it felt like a lot of this stuff should have happened earlier in Episode 3. You know what I mean? And it felt like it helped merge, at least for me, Anakin and Darth Vader together, right? Because for some reason I can't see this whiny kid in that armor, right? And I'm like, I can't. My imagination won't allow me to put Anakin in the armor. But this, to me, helped me put Anakin in the armor, and that whiny kid is there. He's essentially just pretending, right?
Especially when he slashed him, and you saw his face.
See his face
up, and
he's smiling.
The modulator of his voice being changed from James Earl Jones to his own.
Anakin's gone. I am what remains.
Very, very awesome.
But I like that Hayden Christensen behind the mask is smiling, right? And I was like, oh man, that's interesting. You ever thought Darth Vader is smiling behind the mask? You know, so stuff like that helped merge Anakin and Darth Vader for me. And so I like that quite a bit. We talked about this over the telephone. The prequels has just introduced a big issue with the Force, right?
Ooh,
the Force.
Talk about it. Talk about the Force.
That's a great song. But the Force is too powerful, right? It was never really depicted. Oh yeah. The Force has got a lot of power.
I think I feel like it.
Exactly. But the Force is too powerful. And in that, like, the original trilogy didn't really, the Force, people would just use it to like grab lightsabers or flip a switch or maybe make a big jump, but it wasn't used to like throw mountains. Do you know what I mean? Or throw rocks and pull down starships. The problem with that is, while it looks awesome, right? My God, how can you say that doesn't look cool? It makes lightsabers obsolete, right? If a guy can pull a starship out of the sky and you're gonna pull out your lightsaber, you tell me you can't just snatch this out your hand? You know what I mean? Why don't you just break your arm? Why don't you just pop your head.
Why don't he just Vecna you? He can Vecna you in a minute.
Yeah, and even in the show, they showed Darth Vader like physically throwing Reva around, right? Physically throwing her body, right? So why, if he could do that, there's no need for a lightsaber fight. You know what I mean? So I think the Force it needs to be toned down. It's a bit much, or we need some explanation as to why the Force won't pull lightsabers out of people's hands. Like I don't like why
it's
would
super
you like
glued to their hands, man?
I guess so.
Rubber cement, bro.
I guess so.
Futuristic rubber cement, and the whole thing why Reva didn't break into half. We all know she's a cyborg / human. Jeez,
I mean, I'm not worried about her breaking in half. I'm like, I'm just saying, wow, I wouldn't carry a lightsaber. And I remember thinking before the prequels, I was a kid, but I remember thinking before the prequels that Yoda didn't have a lightsaber because he was too powerful for one, right?
Yeah.
Where they did show him lifting the X-Wing and he was struggling. He was like, to lift the X-Wing. And I'm like, oh, if he can lift an X-Wing, he doesn't need to be in a sword fight. You know what I mean? And then the prequels show him with a lightsaber. Why do you need to sword fight if you can move a mountain with your mind? you know what I mean? I would just be popping heads. You know what I mean? Breaking arms, slamming. I would lit the building and just drop it on someone. Why would you need a sword fight?
He lift a building and drop it on them within their exposition of what they're gonna do. Like every bad guy's like, first, I'm gonna take over.
Why not just lift someone up? Just lift them up. Pit them against the wall. You know what I mean? And just stab him or shoot him. I don't know. I don't see. And speaking of shooting, they've already established that Kylo Ren can stop bullets, right? Mm-hmm. So like, what? You don't need a lightsaber at that point. You know what I mean?
He stopped a whole ray beam.
Yeah, you don't need a lightsaber at that point.
Let's get into rating this. I do not want a season 2. I don't want a season 2. They said there's gonna be it's possibly they're thinking about writing a season 2, but I don't want it. I want the Cal Kinson show that they're rumored of making the Jedi Fallen Order character.
You want a TV show from that?
I want that. I want that. Not based off the game.
No.
Not based off the game. Not based off the game.
No,
I don't want that.
You like that character because you can interact with the character. In the show, you won't be able to interact with them. You won't be able to make his lightsaber. You won't be able to change the clothes. You'll just be passively watching.
That's just not the reason why I like the character, because the actor that plays him is a real actor, and I want to see him in real life play what he did in the freaking mocap room. Yeah, I want a story to be brought together. Say if that game didn't exist, even though it does exist, but say it didn't exist, and we got something Cal's backstory first before the game came out, and they did it well. I will be praising that because it has nothing to do with Skywalker. It has to do with Order 66, but it has nothing to do with Skywalker directly. And the fact that he's an actual actor. He's not like Red Dead Redemption, the movie.
I'm not interested in seeing the actor wear clothes. You know what I mean? I know that's like a big thing.
Give it to me.
I know it's a big thing, or people like to see the actor wear clothes and, like the cosplay type deal. I'm not interested. I like the game because I get to play as the character. I won't be able to play as the character in a movie or a TV show. So no, I'm not interested in that. But I'm with you. I'm not wildly interested in a season 2 Obi-Wan. I keep saying they should move on. But if they were going to, I think there is a lingering,
little bit more nugget.
I think there's a lingering mystery, and I want to make sure I give credit where credit's due. This is not my idea. I saw this on YouTube. This is someone else's idea, and I just thought it was a great idea. Where there is a lingering mystery of when did Vader learn that Luke was his son, right? And I feel like they could. They could talk about that, because at some point between I assume between A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back, or although it could have been before New Hope, I don't know, Vader learned he had a son. He didn't learn about his daughter, but he learned he had a son. So when did that happen? And what was his reaction? Who told him? Did he freak out? Was he like, oh my God, what did he say when he found out his son was on freaking Tatooine? Like in the most obvious place in the world, living with his aunt and uncle. Like I feel like he'd have been like,
He's like,
what?
Oh my God.
This is so embarrassing.
So embarrassing.
Yeah, oh my God. Like right in your face. So I feel like
It's gonna kill me.
Yeah,
You might as well just focus on Darth Vader. It has nothing to do with Obi-Wan because it'd be the Darth Vader show, and that'd be fine.
That's fine with me. Yeah,
and then add in Reva trying to kill him. Go ahead.
yeah,
Okay.
that's fine with me. I can live with that.
You know.
So, hey, but I would rather, if I had the choice, that they make something more original. They move on. But I know I don't have that choice, and I know they're gonna stick around the Skywalker saga for as long as possible. So I'm like, I'm trying to find little cracks and crevices where there might be a story.
Well, man, I'm gonna rate this a C+.
C+, okay. I'm gonna give this show a B, solid B. I liked it. I thought it was better than I expected, and this was the most interested I've ever been in a Skywalker saga Star Wars thing in a very long time.
Hey, thank you for clicking on this video. You're a cool cat right there. I see you with your stunning shades on. Why would you be wearing shades?
Yeah,
Okay, anyway, hit that subscribe button because you're so cool. All right, go ahead and hit that like button if you liked our review for this. And if you didn't, hit the thumbs down. All right, whatever it is your opinion. Just remember one thing: it is mostly wrong. Bye.